Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where sharing has become second nature. With a simple click, we expose our lives, our thoughts, dreams, and struggles to the world. But have we ever stopped to consider the consequences of oversharing? There was a time in my life when I thought that sharing everything with the world was a sign of strength. That being open, vulnerable, and transparent meant I was fearless. But life has a way of teaching us lessons in the most unexpected ways. And one of the most profound lessons I learned was this: not everything is meant to be shared. We live in a time where people believe that every thought, every plan, every emotion must be put on display for validation. We overshare, we overexpose, and in doing so, we sometimes lose more than we gain. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. There is strength in keeping certain aspects of life sacred. I have met people who shared their biggest dreams with the world, only to have them crushed by negativity, criticism, and jealousy. And I have seen others who silently work on their vision, nurturing it like a seed, protecting it from the harsh winds of doubt. And when their dreams finally bloom, they speak for themselves. Not everyone around you is rooting for you. Some are watching only to see when you will fail. Some are waiting for the moment you slip so they can remind you of all the ways they thought you weren't good enough. So why give them access to your journey before it has even begun? Why give away your plans before they are strong enough to withstand the weight of the world's opinions? Privacy is not about secrecy. It is about protection. It is about knowing what to share, when to share it, and who deserves to hear it. Not everyone who listens to you wants the best for you. Not everyone who claps for you is happy for you. And not everyone who offers advice is guiding you towards success. I have been through times in my life when I trusted too easily, when I shared my struggles with people who pretended to care. And I have also experienced the heartbreak of realizing that some people only listen so they can turn pain into gossip. That is when I understood some battles are meant to be fought in silence. Some wounds need to heal away from the public eye. And some victories are best celebrated quietly without the need for applause. Privacy does not mean isolation. It does not mean shutting people out or refusing to trust. It means being selective. It means protecting energy. It means understanding that not everything is meant for public consumption. The most beautiful things in life, love, faith, healing, growth, happen in private. They happen in moments when no one is watching, when the cameras are off, when the noise fades and only truth remains. There is something incredibly powerful about moving in silence. There is something extraordinary about building dreams without broadcasting every step. There is something sacred about keeping struggles private until they become strength. Because when privacy is protected, peace is protected. And peace is priceless. People will always have opinions. They will always have something to say about life, choices, failures, and successes. But there is no obligation to explain. There is no need to prove anything. To those who doubt, there is no need to justify a journey. To those who were never meant to walk it. The most successful people in the world understand this. They know that the greatest achievements are born in quiet persistence. They know that the strongest relationships are built away from the spotlight. They know that true happiness does not need validation from anyone. And they understand that the power of privacy is not in keeping secrets, but in preserving the sanctity of life. What is being given away too easily? What parts of life deserve more protection? Who is being trusted with dreams? And do they deserve that trust? It is not selfish to keep certain things private. It is not arrogance to move in silence. It is wisdom. It is strength. It is the foundation upon which true success, peace, and fulfillment are built. Trust is a fragile yet powerful force. It is the foundation of every relationship, the glue that binds friendships, the pillar of love, and the essence of human connection. It is the invisible thread that holds people together, yet, once broken, it is almost impossible to repair completely. Trust is not something that can be demanded. It is earned over time, through actions, consistency, and sincerity. But the real challenge is not just in trusting, but in knowing who to trust. That is where discernment comes in. Life teaches us that not everyone who smiles at us is our friend, and not everyone who listens to us truly cares. There are people who appear to be supportive, but secretly hope for our downfall. There are people who claim to love us, but never stand by us when we need them the most. And then there are those rare souls who enter our lives and prove through every action that they are worthy of trust. The wisdom to recognize the difference between the two is what protects us from heartbreak, disappointment, and betrayal. I have learned through experience that trust should not be given away freely. It is a gift, not an entitlement. Just because someone shares their stories with you does not mean you must share yours with them. Just because someone calls you a friend does not mean they deserve access to your deepest thoughts and feelings. Trust is like a locked door, and discernment is the key that decides who gets to enter. The world is full of people who wear masks. Some disguise themselves as friends, some as lovers, and some as well-wishers. But time always reveals the truth. Time exposes who was genuine and who was pretending. Time teaches us that not everyone clapping for us wants to see us win. Some just want a front row seat to our failures. That is why discernment is so important. It helps us separate the real from the fake, the sincere from the opportunistic, and the loyal from the temporary. There was a time when I believed that everyone had a good heart, that everyone meant well, but life has a way of showing us the reality we often refuse to see. There were moments when I trusted the wrong people, confided in those who later turned my words into weapons, and believed in those who only saw me as a stepping stone for their own gain. The pain of betrayal is not just in what is lost, but in what is learned. The realization that not everyone is meant to walk this journey with us. It is easy to become bitter after experiencing betrayal. It is easy to build walls so high that no one can ever enter. But shutting people out completely is not the solution. The answer is not in fearing trust, but in strengthening discernment. It is about listening to intuition, observing actions rather than words, and allowing time to reveal the true nature of those around us. Discernment is the quiet voice inside us that warns us when something doesn't feel right. It is the uneasiness we feel when someone's words don't match their actions. It is the gut feeling that tells us to walk away, even when everything seems perfect on the surface. And yet, how often do we ignore that voice? How often do we silence our own intuition because we so desperately want to believe in someone's good intentions? We must learn to trust, but we must also learn to verify. We must give people the chance to prove themselves before handing them access to our hearts, our dreams, and our vulnerabilities. Trust is not built in a day. It is built through consistency, honesty, and loyalty. And the ones who deserve it will never make us question it. There is beauty in trusting the right people. There is peace in knowing that some relationships are built on sincerity and not convenience. There is power in choosing wisely, in surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us, protect us, and stand by us in both sunshine and storms. Not everyone will stay, and that is okay. Not everyone deserves a place in our lives, and that is a reality we must accept. The more we grow, the more we realize that trust is not just about others. It is about trusting ourselves, our instincts, our ability to see through deception, and our strength to walk away when necessary. Life is too short to keep learning the same lesson over and over again. The people we choose to trust will either build us or break us. They will either bring peace or chaos. They will either be an asset or a lesson. And the power to decide who stays and who goes is in our hands. Trust, but never blindly. Love, but never foolishly. Believe in people, but never at the cost of losing yourself. Let discernment be your guide, and let time be your test. Because the right people will always prove themselves, and the wrong ones will always reveal themselves. There is something incredibly powerful about silence. It is often misunderstood, often mistaken for weakness. But those who truly understand its essence know that silence is not an absence of power. It is its highest form. In a world where noise is glorified, where people feel the need to announce every step of their journey, where validation is sought in likes and comments, silence has become rare. Yet it is in silence that real success is born. There was a time when I believed that sharing my dreams with the world would somehow bring them closer to reality. I thought that speaking about my ambitions, my struggles, and my plans would make them stronger. But life has its own way of teaching us lessons, sometimes gently and sometimes through pain. I learned over time that not everyone who listens to you is rooting for you. Not everyone who hears your dreams wants to see them come true. And not everyone who claps for you is celebrating your success. Success is delicate in its early stages. Like a seed planted in the soil, it needs time to grow before it is exposed to the world. If you dig up a seed too soon to show it off, it will never become a tree. If you reveal your plans before they take root, they become vulnerable to doubt, jealousy, and negativity. The greatest achievements in life are built in silence, away from the eyes of those who may not understand them, away from the voices that might weaken them. History has shown us time and again that those who succeed often do so without announcing their every move. They work tirelessly behind closed doors. They struggle in the shadows. They rise from failure in solitude. And when they finally emerge, they do so not with words, but with undeniable results. I have met people who talk about their dreams endlessly, yet never take a single step toward them. And I have met those who say nothing, who work in silence, who face their battles alone. And one day they stand before the world, unstoppable, unshaken, and undeniable. Their silence was not emptiness. It was preparation. Silence is misunderstood. People assume that if you are silent, you are doing nothing. But in reality, silence is the space where ideas are nurtured, where creativity is born, where discipline is developed. It is in silence that strategies are crafted, that strength is built, that resilience is formed. It is in silence that the most powerful transformations take place. But why do we feel the need to announce our every move? Why do we feel restless if we are not being seen, not being heard, not being acknowledged? The truth is, we have been conditioned to seek validation. We want people to know we are working hard. We want them to acknowledge our progress. We want them to believe in us. But the real question is, do we believe in ourselves enough to keep going even when no one is watching? Some of the most successful people in the world were once ridiculed, doubted, and underestimated. They did not waste their energy trying to convince others of their worth. They did not seek approval or permission. They simply worked. They kept moving. They kept building. And one day, they stood before the world, not as people who talked about success, but as people who became success. There is a certain peace in working silently. There is a certain power in moving without announcement. There is a certain wisdom in keeping your struggles private until they turn into victories. Because the truth is, success does not need an audience. It does not need validation. It does not need applause. Success speaks for itself. But silence is not just about protecting our goals. It is also about protecting our energy. The more we talk, the more we expose ourselves to negativity. The more we seek approval, the more we invite doubt. The more we share, the more we give people the chance to criticize, discourage, or even sabotage what is meant to be ours. People will always have opinions. They will always have something to say about your life, your journey, your choices. Some will doubt you. Some will mock you. Some will try to convince you that your dreams are too big, too impossible, too unrealistic. But the beauty of silence is that it does not argue back. It does not seek to prove. It simply proves. There will be moments when you feel like giving up. Moments when you wonder if it is worth it. In those moments, remind yourself, every great success story began in silence. Every champion was once an underdog. Every victory was once a battle fought in solitude. You do not need to announce your struggles to the world. You do not need to justify your journey to anyone. Just keep going. Just keep building. Just keep believing. And when the time is right, when your success is ready to be seen, when your hard work has turned into undeniable results, the world will see it. You will not have to say a word. Because your success will say everything for you. The most powerful people in the world are not the ones who shout the loudest. They are the ones who master the art of silence. They are the ones who understand that true power does not need to be displayed. It simply exists. They are the ones who know that real success is not found in